All right, well, here we are, and we're going to talk about Sofi, as you would probably imagine. Yesterday's video did really well, by the way. If you watch that, I appreciate it. I'll try to keep this one short and brief and to the point, as I like to do. But before we get started, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any future videos. You never know what we're going to talk about on here. And my goal is 1,000 by the end of the year. But here we go. Sofi ended the day $5.48, down over 12%. And this is why in the last video I mentioned I don't make predictions, because would I have predicted it'd go down 12% after beating earnings? No. But there are some risks that I mentioned I kind of expected in the last video, and we're going to take a look at those. But before we do, let's look at this. Another brief and to-the-point article, Sofi plunges despite healthy Q1 showing. So if we just look at some metrics, revenue rose 43% year over year to $460 million, beating estimates by $23 million. And here's what's really nice, a net loss per share at only 5 cents versus the 8 cents that was expected. The company added more users, 433,000 to be exact, and now the total member count, 5.7 million. And here's a milestone that they just reached. They have now $10 billion in total deposits. Next quarter, they expect $470 to $480 million in revenue, and by the end of the year, $1.955 to $2.02 billion. And last but not least, the company expects to hit quarterly profitability by quarter 4 of this year. But something I mentioned in the last video that scared me in particular was the personal loans. And if we go and look at these metrics, I'll try to zoom in so you can see them. This line right here, the personal loan originations, so it's in the middle, we can notice that it did go up from last quarter. Almost 2.5 billion last quarter to now close to 3 billion. And I mentioned in the last video, I don't particularly like these as compared to mortgages per se, which is 105 million last quarter to only about 90 million this quarter, because there's nothing really backing up these loans. It's just relying on the people's credit scores, which they touted in the last earnings was over 700 money weighted. But other than that, that's all you have to rely on. If they don't pay, they don't pay. And so, of course, I didn't get the opportunity to buy back some of the puts I sold on Sofi, so it looks like I'm likely going to own more shares. One of the puts I did sell, I rolled back, making $11 in premium. In particular, it was this $5.50 strike put. I went ahead and I rolled it back to the 19th of this month and made $11 in premium, like I said. But something else I did, which I didn't really want to, but I just went for it, was I purchased another call. So now I'm holding 4 calls on Sofi with the $5 strike, and it's needless to say I'm pretty heavy in this stock if I wasn't already. Of course, there's talk about the student loan pause being resumed this year, and the CEO said that that's not something the company is counting on, though maybe secretly they are, who's to know. But a big if that happens, it could definitely benefit the company. So yeah, it's definitely a risky play. I don't recommend anyone following any of my trades. Please don't follow anyone on YouTube for that matter. I just want to share my brief thoughts on this and show you some results from the earnings. Let me know what you think down below. If you like it, if you hate it, how you thought the earnings were. I hope to see you in a future video.